cleaning the data, removing the duplicates, we arrived at 136 cleaned responses. Now, the findings paint a strongly positive picture. While most participants rated their experience as very satisfied, they value the practice curriculum and registered high scores in both recommendation and engagement. But then at the same time, their comments reveal, targeted opportunities for growth, such as deepening exercise explanation, streamlining mobile usability, and strengthening peer-to-peer support. Now, the in-depth analysis that follows explores these insights into details, and it offers actionable next steps to amplify what's working and also address the identified gaps.
Sorry, Idaya, to intrude. I would like to confirm if others can see your screen, because your screen is static on my own end, not movement. Can someone else please confirm that?
Please, can you all see my screen now? Okay, so sorry, I think so. This. All right. So yeah, as I said early on, I wanted to start with the, recognizing the mission and the vision of AI Community Africa. I did talk of cleaning the data responses and then getting 136 data to work on. I did talk of the positive picture that the data presented, with most people rating their experience as very satisfied as they valued the practice-based curriculum. And at the same time, their comments also reveal targeted opportunities for growth. Now, let's look at the learner interest by tracks. So looking at the data analysis and data science top the charts in learner preferences. But then at the same time, it could be less about this. It could be more about visibility and familiarity. Now, let's look at it like this. When anybody wants to navigate the field of data or the field of data science or even machine learning or anything, since they don't really have access to the in-depth resources, everybody's mind just goes to data analytics. Let me start with data analysis. Let me start with data analysis. Let me start with data science. Let me start with this. So that could also explain why most people are into data analysis and data science as compared to the rest. Now, many newcomers may gravitate towards these parts because it's well known and it might feel accessible, but then what is missed is that learners may pivot later once they discover other roles. So they might start in data analysis with SQL or Python, and they might start with data science with SQL, Python, and later realize that, no, I actually wanted to do something gearing towards machine learning, or I actually wanted to do something gearing towards data engineering or machine learning sciences. So when you look at the data, you'd see that most, or should I say some of the correspondents or some of the students have a lot of merged tracks. Like they do data analysis and then they are also doing data science, they're also doing data engineering, they're also doing machine learning. It could be explained by this too. Okay, so it also suggests that the high numbers aren't really indicators of popularity. They are signals that we need better navigation tools. We need them to understand that, oh, you don't really need to do this before you do this. You could actually do this like this. You could actually do this like that. So moving on to the next. Now, when you look at the learning commitments, I tried to, see if there was a correlation between the dedicated study hours and the XP points. And then here's what I realized. The study hours and XP points are loosely connected. Learners who spend more time tend to earn more XP points, but then it's not really having a strong link. The correlation values show kind of like a weak to, moderate relationship. So it shows that even though, data suggests that XP goes up as hours increase, it's messy. So it cannot really be used to account, or it cannot really be used to, explain the correlation between XP and the hours learners spend on week, because averagely learners spend 11 hours and 50, or when you round it up, it's 50 minutes per week on the platform. And then that also shows a solid commitment across the board, even if time alone doesn't guarantee higher outcomes. Now, looking at the satisfaction levels, the feedback couldn't be clearer. I mean, this program is making people genuinely happy, with 101 learners saying they are very satisfied and others saying they're satisfied, it's obvious that we are really doing something right, But then only 3 people said they were, they felt neutral, and no one really had anything negative to say. So I mean, that's a good feedback. I mean, that's a thumbs up to us. Show us that we are actually doing something. We're actually going on track. We're actually doing the right things, right? Now that kind of response is rare, so it's actually worth celebrating. Yeah. So now with a few upgrades, like, clearer explanations, a more smoother user experience, we should turn, that handful of satisfied and neutral responses into our biggest, very satisfied responses. And when you look at beneficial aspects of the program, now respondents were asked, which aspects of the program do you find the most beneficial to you? So these are the perceived benefits of the correspondence. Now, I was able to code the qualitative responses into 7 groups. We had practice-based learning, we had weekly office hours, we had structured learning part, we had all aspects, we had community engagement, we had user experience, and then, yeah, we had those who also chose not applicable. Now, under the practice-based learning, we had responses like, sorry, give me a minute. So under the practice-based learning, we had responses like, they liked the data visualization, they liked the, hands-on exercises, they liked the practice after each, session. They liked the fact that DataCamp had, some projects and the data lab interface and all of that, what have you. Now, under the weekly office hours, we had responses like they liked the weekly interactive sessions. They liked how the TAs used to come and then guide them through each of the, the various aspects they were studying. Under the community engagement, we had something like, we had responses like, the TA's engagement of WhatsApp, on the WhatsApp groups, and then AI computer cast sending mails and all of that. And at the weekly SP tax, we had people saying they like the fact that I think Tomiwa would put some XP assignments on the data camp, and then you'd have to complete this between a stipulated time. Some of the respondents claimed that it kept them motivated because they felt like they had something to, fulfill. They had some deadlines they had to reach. And then user experience, some absolutely loved the DataCamp interface, how smooth it was and everything. Under the learning part, they liked the fact that data analysis had a clear structure. They liked the fact that the resources were free. They liked the fact that all of that has to do with what they were studying. So under all of this is the data it literally presents. That practice-based learning was the top. Learners absolutely love the fact that it was hands-on, it was practical, they could apply the theoretical knowledge they gained, and then, better their skills. Okay, so in terms of which ones the respondents like best, you can see it in the chat or in the graph below. In the graph in the PowerPoint slide. Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. Okay, in the graph in the PowerPoint slide. So yeah, the office hours had the structured, and then the structured learning part, they got 28 mentioned, showing that it's actually key for helping learners stay focused and confident. So I think it's quite clear what we are seeing on our screens. Now, only 4 people did name a favorite part, which lines up with the high satisfaction scores. Now, let's look at the challenges faced by learners. Now, as you can see in the graph, most people actually said they had no challenges. Most people actually have no challenges. And then with the others that had challenges, it had to do with explanation, it had to do with user experience, it had to do with consistency, network issues, personal issues, time management. Now with the others presented some unique responses that I will delve in later. Now when you look at the explanations, some of the learners, or should I say a number of them, complained about the fact that sometimes the practice or the exercises given up after each lesson, they wouldn't understand because some of the concepts were not, explicitly taught in the videos that were given. So they also, said we should, do some more theoretical courses or some more theoretical explanations into the basics, into the, the foundations of whatever each track was studying, and that would help them better because, you need theory to be able to practice more. I know we all agreed to this too. Now with user experience, it was mainly with the DataCamp interface. Some complained about, the data lab, it was slow. And I actually do have an experience with Power BI. The Power BI interface or the data lab interface in DataCamp is very slow. And so because of that, I have to download the exercises and do it on my Power BI, on the Power BI desktop on my computer. So I also have had a first-hand experience of how slow the interface can be, and it can make learning a few a bit discouraging and all of that. So that was under the user experience. Now, the consistency was more of a personal issue. Most people struggle with consistency, and they claimed it was attributed to the fact that they had their community engagement was not really sufficient. They didn't have any, peer-to-peer support and all of that. And so they lacked that motivation to, keep going or to continue. Some also complain of network issues. Some also complain of personal issues like, oh, my computer got spoiled. Oh, I couldn't balance it with school and all of that. And then, yeah, as I said, time management too was also another key factor with which some learners also, suggested that we should have a really structured, embedded Google Calendar, which shows how, acts are going to be like, with which they can also add their Google Calendar to be able to keep them, on track in terms of their time management and to be able to manage their time correctly and efficiently. Now, with the perceived lacking aspects by learners, it was okay. So I think you can all at least see something. So, I broke everything that most people really did not have anything to say. They literally did not really have anything, wrong with. They didn't have anything they felt was lacking because they felt AI Community Africa is doing their best. Most of the people who gave most of the data was cleaned data because most of them were giving praise. Most of them were giving, thank you for this opportunity. You've done well. There's nothing much that has to be improved on, all of that. So I just categorized all of that into none because they really did not have anything wrong with it, right? So let's now look at the data, what the data literally told us. So one correspondent actually had felt we should incorporate AI Community Africa certifications. And I personally feel like this is a very great incentive. It serves as a great incentive for learners to, buckle up their seatbelts and put their best into the programs where they are literally on, or their various career tracks. Now, when you look at user experience, some people, so as I said early on, they struggle with the interface. So yeah, they would like, something to be done about it. But I mean, it's with DataCamp, so I don't know if AI Community Africa can really do something about that. But then, yeah, that was what they said. Now, when you look at the guide for learning, some correspondents complained that when you actually on the course and you are doing the certification, you'd have to go and learn like resources outside. You'd have to go and read a bit outside, and that the curriculum was not really as comprehensive, or it was not really tailored for the certification involved, because they had to go and consult resources outside to be able to take the certification exam. So they wanted a guide for learning to be able to take the certification. So okay, I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to learn, after learning this, I'm learning this, after learning that, I'll learn that, so that when I'm done with learning all of these things, I'll be able to take the certification, and then whatever I learned is whatever I'll be examined on. Now, some also complained, one person wanted the provision of notes, right? The person was very specific with PDF notes. I mean, notes could be slides, PDF, anything. But then, yeah, the provision of notes would actually be helpful for those who might not be able to join the office hours. The notes, they could always go through, it'll keep them on track. They have a little knowledge about, what's going on without actually having to, carry their laptops everywhere they go. They could just go through their notes and, have a feel of, what's going on, or get some, theoretical knowledge. Yes. So 2 people actually said the office hours were not beneficial. They did not learn enough. The explanations was not enough during the office hours. And what have you. Now, somebody also said, just one person actually said, we should record the office hours, that office hours should be made accessible to those who would not be able to join it, so that, they could always watch it at their free hours. Because truth be told, there's no perfect time for everybody to be able to join the office hours. Some people would always have something to do at the time we are having our office hours, or so in times like this, we should record the sessions and make it, accessible to the students, to be able to watch it at their free times, to be able to, get insights, so that, they are also on track. Now, people also, apart from the fact that people said they had nothing wrong, the next major lacking aspects were real world life projects. In as much as practice-based learning was top in terms of the perceived benefits, people also wanted hands-on data. I mean, it's nice to practice with Google, it's nice to practice with dummy data, but they wanted real companies, right? I think Elena actually suggested that it would be nice if, like, you collaborate with this company, get like some of their data, work with it. Let's see what we can do. Data analysis. Let's see what the data analysts can do. Let's see what the data scientists can do. Let's see what the machine learning engineers, the machine learning scientists can do with real world data. Like, what is happening in Nigeria? What can you solve with the knowledge you have gained? And I think that actually also aligns with the mission of AI Community Africa, doesn't it? So I think adding real world live data regarding where you are, what it has to do with Africa, in Africa, real world data for us to practice on. It's nice to, do with Google and all of that, but we need to solve problems in Africa, and that is a paramount mission. It was actually paramount in the mission statement by AI Community Africa. So I feel this should really be taken into consideration. Now, learners complained of communication problems, right? I think some learners did see AI Community Africa should, do better with our communication in terms of community engagement, and in terms of the TAs communicating via the WhatsApp channels. One learner did, no, not everyone, like a couple of learners, like 2 people did see, they lamented about, I want to use the word lament because, no, it's not lament, I'm so sorry, I'm nervous. So they lamented about the fact that data engineering had no group. It had no group, it had no TA, and I think they had connected with other peers and other groups and realized that they had groups. And I think one of the most active groups is the data science group, and their TA was Omabi or something. I think Michael. I think they realized they don't have any TA. It made them feel less motivated, the data engineering students. So that is also another thing we have to also look at. Mentorship sessions and job fairs. People also spoke about it. That would be nice to, a real world data analyst in Nigeria, a real world data analyst in Ghana. How does it feel like? How is it actually like being a data analyst? What actually the skills that they don't teach you, like, right? It's not everything you learn from school, and not everything you learn from theoretical courses. You need hands-on. You need somebody in the field to talk to us, tell us what exactly do we need, apart from these practical skills, what soft skills do we need to thrive in our various fields? And I think that should also be looked at. Some also spoke of peer studies, and peers. I think that's very explanatory. Some also spoke of weekly tasks, that it should be increased, not just XP tasks, like it should be increased in other like areas. And I think that's also an important thing we are inculcating in our roadmap. And theoretical course, I did speak on that early on, that we need more courses that explain the ground up, explain the foundations. Because if your foundations are shaky, I mean, you don't have anything. Practice is not enough. You need to be able to have it. You need to be able to understand the concept. Okay, I think I saw a quote somewhere that says more like this: you can never you don't understand something till you can teach it to a child, right? So they need to understand the hands-on or the foundations of it. So let's move on. Now, with the success stories, 28 learners shared mixed or vague wins, while 48 others did not respond or haven't hit a milestone yet. The biggest reward isn't just the credentials, it's feeling confident enough to tackle real world problems. that belief keeps people learning and growing. I mean, certificates matter, especially when learners use them to show off their skills in their resume or online. But then career wins are real. Career wins are real. And then as learners grow, we'll see more success story. We should collect and then we should share them. Projects like hackathons and then, the portfolios help learners, prove what they know, even without formal work experience. And for those who have not yet shared a win, we can spark more reflection by, asking, better follow-up questions or making a space for quieter voice to shine. When you look at the success stories, most of it was about just saying thank you, AI community after. I think the satisfaction levels were really, really immensely high. Most of them were immensely satisfied. They were really, really happy. Really, really, really happy with how the program has been. So it was nothing but gratitude on their end. But then others too, said they used the knowledge, for teaching. Some also used it in application, real world, project. Some also said they use it to advance in their career. Some also did it for, academic milestones, in school. They used completed certification or these completed course. But most of them did say it built their confidence and then it built their confidence through honing their skills. And I think that is actually something we should be really proud about. Now, recommendation and engagement scores. Most people give a 10 over 10 in terms of recommendation, that they would actually recommend this program to anybody else to, register or partake in it or, get into it. And while we had some, going in between the likes of a 5, which is like they were very indifferent. I think this could be attributed to those who gave neutral response in terms of the satisfaction levels, right? And the 8s and the 9s were people who were like, oh, there was more work to be done, right? But then in all, the satisfaction levels, the recommendation score was very high. And the engagement scores too were very high, engagement scores were very high. And as I said, as people also did talk of things that were lacking, that could be used to explain why, we move in between the likes of a 2, the likes of a 4, the likes of a 6, the likes of a 8. All in all, I feel there is really a lot of room for improvement, and this was a very beautiful feedback that was given. Now with recommendation score, as I said early on, yeah, it's very, I think you can read and get, little understanding of what you saw early on. But then most learners rated engagement highly. There's a noticeable dip, but then some learners recommend the program despite feeling less engaged, hinting at personal challenges rather than dissatisfaction. I mean, I really do feel it's not about dissatisfaction, because we didn't get any negative response in terms of satisfaction. So it's more about them seeing what they felt was lacking, them seeing the challenges they faced, and then we seeing it in what was presented up here, and then we bettering it to change all of those ones into our biggest fans. So yeah, it means that the program is actually highly appreciated, as I said early on. And so to ensure success, we have to, focus on helping, less engaged learners feel more connected and supported. And I feel like for real, a lot of us, I even experience, I'm sure some of you here experience, some of us experience imposter syndrome. It's bad. You have learned, you have the skills and everything, but then you still feel you are not up to task. We need that collaborative community, to push us on the days we feel down and the days we feel, low and everything. And I think mental health is actually something we should also look at. Some of our learners might be going through something. They just need a little nudge, a little push, to keep going, to know that, they are loved, they're appreciated, and that their skills would actually make a difference. Okay. So I think this is actually something we should actually look onto in terms of the community engagement and in terms of, the peer support aspect. Now, in terms of the additional comments, I tried to do a word map, right, to show which ones, stand out more. Okay, and now as you see, tech issues, real world projects, it was literally all what was said in the what is lacking and challenges they faced. And yes, that brings my attention to it. Somebody, or I think 2 or 3 people, did talk of incentives, having bringing incentives on board. I mean, incentives have nothing to do with it being monetary. It could be anything. And I mean, giving a best learner of the week, best learner of the month, giving certifications, badges, sharing more opportunities for the best learners, it will push people. I've seen that, this person did well within the stipulated time and got this. It wasn't really money, but then for them to know that they are they are appreciated. We are seeing the effort they are putting inside, right? Yeah. So I think incentives is something that I actually added to the, the feedback roadmap that we actually had to look on to. People also had tech issues. I mean, the real world project, I did talk of it. Adding theory, I did talk of it. The data engineering cohort did say they need a TA, I did talk of it. Some too said they experienced some, things that hindered their continuation. Hey, please forgive me. The continuation of the scholarship, and so we should try and extend the scholarship time period. Some also said they did put in so much effort within the first few months of the scholarship, and then as time went on, they had a little hiccup, and then they went off track. And so we should only notice these people and then try and extend their scholarship because they appreciate what we are doing for them. And I think that is also a good suggestion. Yeah, so that is it with the additional comments. So yeah, I'm done with the feedback from the cohorts. Now I'm looking at the graduation response feedback. Event availability. Everybody out of the 48 responses we got, everybody attended the graduation, right? Only one person, which accounted for the no score here. See, just 1%, like 2.1%, just 1%. I think that's very good. That's good. Experience rating. Most people gave a 5/5. The experience. Most people gave a 10. There was hoovering. I mean, 5/5 was like the most, which once again validates the fact that our program is really, really impacting lives. And then the ratings of 3/5 and 4/5 is also attributed to what they feel is lacking. And basically, it's the same as all I summarized above, right? They all feel it's literally the same responses that I summarized and I coded above. Now, with the volunteer interest, I noticed there was something peculiar about the graduation, the data where they were asked, respondents were asked, would you like to volunteer? Yeah, and so most people actually did want to volunteer, but then the only thing that hindered me from knowing the career tracks involved, so that I would have reached out to them ASAP, was there was no question given to them, or nobody was asked their career track, so that I would know which person in data engineering wants to actually volunteer, so that we're able to get somebody from the data engineering quickly for them. But then, all in all, it does show us that most people actually really want to give back to the community that helped them, and that's very good. And I'm sure that there may be so 2.1%, very, very minute, just feel like no, they don't want to volunteer. I'm sure when we upskill, when we change, a few things, they would all want to, give back to the community, because who wouldn't like to be with AI community? Of course, it's a very good space to be with. Okay, so as I said early on, I've summarized everything here. Yeah, the satisfaction level was great. 68% rated a 5/5. 29% just gave a 4, and then 2.1% gave a 3. With a volunteer, 75% want to volunteer, 22%, their potentials, maybe that. So yeah. Oh, thank you so much for your rapt attention, and I am done with my feedback presentation. I hope you guys will enjoy it in your seats, and you've collected some actionable, feedback, and I'm sure like the data, the teacher assistant here, you've been able to add something to, your roadmap. Okay, so yeah, after this, I think, am I supposed to present my roadmap too?
Not yet. I mean, this we had so much information to take in, right? I mean, my notes are really full. Okay, so not yet, because well, that was an amazing presentation. Thank you so much, Idaya. I would like you to take a break here. Is that fine for you?
Yeah, that's totally fine for me. Thank you. I was so nervous. I'm glad all of you liked it.
I told you you don't have to. Thank you so much for that amazing presentation. I mean,
You're
we've
welcome.
had we've had so much to take in, and I would leave the room for a few people to, give their comment. If you have a question for Idaya, I would like you to please go ahead and, give a little comment. If I just want to see if you have anything like that, can you please signify with a raise of hand? Could you please raise your hand from anybody among the teaching assistants, those who are just joining, those who have been here for a while? If you have any comments at all, I would like to know. Anybody or questions? Okay, I can see that Dixon's hand is raised. I would like to take number just to be sure, because we're running out of time. So I want to be sure that everyone who wants to give a comment or ask a question have their hands raised before we start. Any other person? I can see Paul's hand is also raised. Okay, so if you have any other question, you may as well raise your hand while I'll give Dixon the floor. Dixon, please go ahead, give your comments and questions if there be any. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Good morning. I hope you're all doing well this morning. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to also express my concern. Um, During the presentation, Idaya she made mention of how that some students encounter challenges and kind of like with the data camp with the curriculum, and then kind of like they wish that with the practice exams there should be more of like theoretical knowledge so that they will know how to go about it. My also concern is that with most of the students, they really don't reach out to the community or the teaching assistants assigned to them. And I remember with the previous cohort, I used to I mean express it. Talk of like always letting them know that if they encounter challenges, they can reach out and we can help. But here is the case: they wouldn't until maybe there is, a project or maybe some hands-on project to work on. That's when, they bring out a whole lot of excuses that I didn't understand this, that's why I couldn't do this, I didn't understand, that's why I couldn't do it. And I think even with the certification projects that we did, yes, most of them were giving excuses I don't understand this. I don't understand the concept. That is why I couldn't tackle this. Blah blah blah. So with that, what I want us to do is to always, with the new cohort, we should um pinpoint on that. Let them know that the community is there to help. It's not everyone that have the time, the luxury to, go out and search on whatever he's learning on DataCamp. There are some people they will do that. They want to, get more knowledge, especially if they are finding it difficult to, grab a concept. So they will want to go out there. Use AI platforms or maybe articles or YouTube to get more understanding on what he or she is learning. But I think that it's only few who will do that. A majority of them will just, sit back and be like, okay, if I am stuck here, then that is all. I'm done. I'm not moving forward. So we have to let them know that getting stuck at a particular point is part of the journey. Everyone, one or the other, is part of it. Especially if you are doing anything in regards to coding, SQL, Python, Power BI. Yeah, you will get stuck at a point. Sometimes you have to leave everything behind. Sit back and now think, reason. What could be the problem? What should I do? What other resources should get my hands on so that it will, open my eyes to whatever problem I am stuck on. Yeah, so I believe that a lot of us have the experience with, getting stuck at, a project or, a concept or a theory we are finding difficult to understand. So what we should do is to, let them know that we are there for them and they can reach out to anybody I mean, anyone or anybody at all, and then we'll be gladly, to help. You will gladly help and then help them to overcome whatever challenge they encounter. So yeah, this is my little admission I wanted to add. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. That has been duly noted, and it will be addressed even further. Thank you so much, Dixon, for that input. Paul, I would like you to you have the floor as well. Please go ahead and share your thoughts. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Funke. While listening to Idaya's beautiful presentation, I heard her mention that some of the students were talking about real life experience or yes, real world experience after the program or maybe during the program. So I quickly remembered something that happened recently. I don't know if anyone knows Hack Sultan on Twitter. So the story there is he uses his reach, which I know AI Community Africa has also, to partner with some companies. What he did specifically was um, uh, tweeted. He just tweeted on Twitter that he has students or people, skilled people who are interested in internship that companies should fill this Google uh, kind of Google link or form or something stating the kind of internship and all the details about what they need and possibly if it's a paid internship. And recently, that was successful to a point that about 150 companies have, you know, requested for internships, and that's it. So I believe this is something that AI Community Africa can also take. You can take this step and get to find placements for students who are interested in real world experience after the program. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for that addition. It has also been noted. Um, I think during end of the year session event last year, you could remember that it was mentioned during the event that Air Community Africa has a lot of stuff like that in store. However, we need talent, right? And that is why we are here. That is why we are building. It is not just
Sorry,
about
I can barely hear you.
um. Can you hear me? Is it better now? Can
Yes,
you hear
it's
me?
better.
Okay,
Yes.
so we need talent. It's not just about passion. A lot of people are passionate, but they are not good talent. And that's the truth. So, why we are here as teaching assistants is to build ourselves and not just ourselves, build those talents. So, this is a community where we are bringing people together to sharpen each other's skills so that we can actually solve problems. I mean, look at us here as a group of teaching assistants. We have people who are doing excellently well. They have real world experiences, they are working. We have students who are just, who are currently students. We have people who have graduated from school. I mean, these are talents. We are young minds, right? What can we come up with? If we can start with us from the teaching assistant team, then I believe that it will be able to spread even to the entire community. So, as I said in the last two calls that we had, let us come up with something that all of us can put our specialty together to solve that kind of meaningful problem. So we need to develop a problem statement. We need to go after it and go all out for it. That is the only way we can. Sometimes people believe in presenting opportunities to them, whereas we can actually create opportunities for ourselves. I mean, this is just a food for thought. It's not part of the presentation. Let's just think about it and come back to discuss this better. We have a data engineer in our midst. We have machine learning scientists. We have data scientists. We have data analysts. I mean, you understand. Okay, so once again, thank you so much, Idaya, for that wonderful presentation. Before I leave the room for the program coordinator to conclude this discussion and probably walk us through data camp if time permits us today. So the first thing is I would like to mention a few things just to reiterate what Idaya has said. Number one, roadmap. I believe everybody here, except Paul, who would be getting the roadmap for the machine learning track soon as well. Everybody here knows what they are supposed to do for the next cohort, right? Don't let me assume. If you don't know what you're supposed to do for the next cohort, except Paul, because I know that I've not walked him through that entire process, but except Paul, if you are here and you know that you don't know what you're supposed to do for the next cohort, please let me see your hands up. Okay. So that means that this body has actually helped us to have a clear understanding of what we are meant to do. We are onboarding students probably next week, of course, maybe sometimes next week, very, very soon. So it means that people are coming on board. As much as you have a clear roadmap on what you are supposed to do, they should also have a clear roadmap on what they are to expect from your classes. So I'll be dropping a task for us this week. It is to give a detailed breakdown of what the breakout room session will entail for the next 3 months. Okay, so we already know what the roadmap is. We know that after every 2 weeks, we are meant to assign a project. We know that after this is what we are meant to do. This is where we are started from. We have 6 months to deal with this. We are teaching for 5 months. We are doing our capstone project after that. We know what we are expected to do, right? And it will not be fair if your student also do not know what they are supposed to do. You could see from the presentation, Idaya mentioned that some of the students complained about the roadmap, that it was not clear. So I'm beseeching us as teaching assistants that because we are going to develop our own roadmap for the breakout session for the next 3 months, how is it going to go? Day 1, day 2. I think data science has done that. I saw it from what Usman sent. However, we are still going to go through that again to refine it. Okay. So once it is refined, please pass it on to your students. Don't hoard it. Don't keep it to yourself. Give them what to expect so that they know what they will come to class to meet. Please, do we understand, everybody? I just need a thumbs up. I just need us to acknowledge that we got that point. Okay, great. So please give them a clear roadmap, because when you have a vision of where you are going, it is easier for you to get there. Don't leave them in the dark. And that is why we were not able to carry so many students along during the last 2 cohorts. Although the fault was not from the TAs to some extent, the community was not, we had some challenge on our own end as well. But we are starting this and we are starting it well. So once the students come in this week 1, this is what we are doing. Week 2, this is what we are doing. Week 3, this is what we are doing. This is your capstone project. Let them know beforehand. Prepare their mind so that when they come to class, they are coming with expectations, and be sure that you are ready to meet those expectations that you have set. It will be disappointing if the students come to class, you told them that, oh, this week we are going to be talking about data analysis with SQL, we are going to be dealing with the select statement and all of that, and then they got to class and you are doing something else, or you are not able to address it. By the time you realize it, the attendance of your students will start to drop. They will stop coming to class because, number one, you set the expectation. Number two, you are not meeting those expectations. Okay, so please let us try as much as possible to cover up, to catch up as much as we can. Also, she also mentioned interactivity. Interactivity was one of the major challenges that we had in the last cohort. Reason being that many people are moving at different paces, right? But this cohort, we want to ensure that the same pace, and your group should not be quiet, because I see no reason why your group should be quiet. So we are all going to employ the tactics of data analysts with Excel and SQL. We are going to select a class rep, a class monitor. So once you onboard students, the next thing is to look out for selecting a class monitor. And what your class monitor is going to do is to keep the class engaged. That's his business. He is not a teaching assistant. He is keeping the class engaged. He is reaching out to the students. Once it is time for interactive session, breakout session on Saturdays, he's reaching out to the students. Like, you are not just leaving the person to it, you are working hand in hand with your class monitor. Your class monitor is the one who is going all out to ensure that all the projects are submitted. Are we together? Because you cannot do it on your own. You cannot do it all alone. We all need help, right? I can't do it all alone. That is why we are all here. So that is one of the tactics that data analysts with SQL, because your class, your group, your group, I think we're going to be using Discord for this cohort. It has to be, and you have to keep it engaged, right? People need to be to continually feel that they are part of a community. Don't be silent on your group, and you will have more people this time around, right? I also had issues with the numbers. While we got, very good, feedback from the feedback team, we got very good feedback from the participants in the last cohort. While we can see all of those amazing feedbacks that we got, we would also notice that the numbers are quite few. If you could remember, when we onboarded people in the last two cohorts, we onboarded over thousands of learners, right? And at the end of the day, we're getting feedback from about 136. I think I got the number right. 136 respondents. So this means that the gap between those who finally gave response or who were able to carry to the promised land, in quotes, that gap is wide. And we need to look for a way to cover up this cohort. If 200 students are assigned to you, you are a teaching assistant, you are managing 200 people. By the time we are doing the first project, the second project, we shouldn't be seeing anything less than 150 responses. By the time people are doing their certification exam, you should be able to carry all of your students along. I mean, Idaya, please take notes. This is one of the things that we are going to use to measure as our KPIs for the next cohort. Okay, to measure the success as a success metrics for the TAs. Number one, you should be able to produce teaching assistants after your own self. Many of us are here because somebody recommended you and we reached out to you. Some of you decided to volunteer on your own, right? So many of you are here because as a result of somebody's effort to bring you on board. You could hear Paul's testimony shortly. Paul mentioned that he's here because of Michael, who was the former data science teaching assistant. So one of the success metrics is that the students that you are training, that you are working with, you should be able to present them. They should be qualified as teaching assistants for the next cohort, right? And then the second is that when you start with a certain number of students, at least 80% of your students, you should be able to carry them to the end of the program. Don't leave them behind. Don't leave them struggling and wallowing in the field of data on their own. All right. And then incentives. We need to also think about how we are going to incentivize our students, right? Many of them are going to come on board. When we give projects, you need to be able to mark your projects. Once you are done with it, you also need to be able to tell us who is doing well. If our incentive, as she has said, it does not necessarily have to be monetary. We just have to think about it. It could be as small, as little as we are posting the person on our LinkedIn page just to appreciate them. So we're going to take it serious because this is a data community, right? And we need to work with data. So if people say that they feel good because of incentives, then we should do it. We're not giving anybody money, right? Because this is a non-profit organization, okay? But we could promote them. We could reshare their post on LinkedIn, just something small to appreciate them, to show the world that they are doing something. So please think of how you want to incentivize your students and reach out to me. Come up with your own ideas. Okay, my student, this is what I want us to do for them. This is what I want us to do. Let's do a LinkedIn challenge for them, on AI Community Africa's page and all of that. So think of what you want for your students, and we're going to discuss that. So these are the things that we're going to be discussing in subsequent meetings. My time is far spent. I would send a list of every other thing that we need to talk about, and then in subsequent meetings we are just going to address all of these issues one after the other and give people room to also express their minds. Okay, so once again, thank you so much for your willingness to stay committed to the program. I'm going to leave the room for the program coordinator, Mr. Tomiwa, to give his own to air his thoughts about the feedback that we just heard, and also give us insight into how to navigate the DataCamp platform so that you'll be able to assign assignments to your students or tasks on DataCamp to your students. Sorry that we're taking so long during this meeting. We'll end the meeting soon because we have another meeting to jump on real quick. Mr. Tomiwa, you have the floor. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for Mikael for that feedback. And I'd also like to appreciate Idaya for a beautiful presentation. I mean, I love the voice, I love the words, I love the smoothness of the presentation. It was more for me like a storytelling. And I was just like, wow, wow, this is awesome. So yeah, for Mikael has actually, said a lot about. I mean, she's given a feedback. She's done a lot to pinpoint everything we need to work on. So I would just like to add one or two points to it. Firstly, I think most of the issues we had last for the last cohort was actually came from the quality of our students we admitted, because take it or you leave it, the quality of time a student is willing to commit to the program actually determines how far we can shape them in terms of how far we can incorporate our strategies and methods to shape and try to refine them. So one of the things we are actually doing differently this time around is to make sure that any students coming into this program must at least be willing and be able to commit nothing less than 5 hours per week. And it's not the criteria is not it's very strict, because when we are trying everything possible to make this program worthwhile, and you as a student, you are not willing to commit your time to it, it will ultimately frustrate our effort. I mean, most of the issues Idaya raised were actually, I can say specifically that most of the complaints are actually coming from students that didn't partake fully in the program. Because if you partake fully in the program, you know that all our breakout sessions are actually recorded. And we try as much as possible to share the video recordings with the students. So I can see the pattern of inconsistency, and if you ask some questions and it reveals that, oh, you did fully participate in the program. So these are things we will look out as a community and try to put strategic plans in place for these next cohorts. And yeah, as a community we have our own shortcomings, and we have a lot that we are trying to put in place in order to make the program seamless and very impactful. And in general, I think I personally will still go over Hidaya's presentation to really sit down and look at where we really need to put effort. Yeah, I really don't have much to say. Uh, but as a final note, I would just like to to appreciate everybody, all the TAs, the lead TA, and I mean the team spirit. It's very strong. It's very motivational, inspiring to see everybody working to make this program a success. Yeah. So that's that about that. So I will be moving on to sharing my screen now and walk us through the DataCamp platform as a whole and how we can utilize the features provided by data in order to assign assignments, give courses, and everything we can do to set the tone for our students and keep them engaged and on track. Just give me a minute. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes. Your screen is off.
All right. So yeah, this is the DataCamp platform, and right now I want to be sure that all the TAs are on board, except for Paul, if I'm not mistaken. Paul, are you on DataCamp? Have you been given access to the platform?
Oh, yes.
Okay, you're on DataCamp. That's fine. That's good. So when you log into the DataCamp platform, I think this is the dashboard that you would see. So what we try to do is to assign all the TAs as a team lead. Oh, sorry. I think I've invited all the TAs on DataCamp and also assigned a team lead for the career tracks. Let me double check that. Okay, so currently we have 4 career track: the machine learning, the data engineering, the data science, and the data analysis. So what these actually means is that for each of these career track, we have a team lead. We have a team lead for the specific career track, and the responsibility of this team lead is to actually track the activities of his or her students, and also monitor their performance, how their performance and activity on the platform. So as a team lead, you have the ability to know the courses your students are taking. I think you will have the access to their time lines to track the time they've spent on the platform and all other metrics that is there to track personally as a team lead. And also you can give assignment and all, which will bring me to how you can assign assignments on the platform. So for the assignment, definitely as a team lead, you would have access to this. I think Dixon is the team lead for machine learning. So let me use that as an example. So for Dixon, once you go on the group, once you click this group tab, you'll see assignment. Assignment should automatically pop up on your dashboard. So, and you will also see the numbers of students assigned to you. So when you click the create assignment, this is going to pop up and allow you to choose the specific goal you want to really target. Do you want to assign a particular course to your students, or you want to customize the course, or you want to select a particular lesson? Probably a student complaint, or I'm finding it difficult to understand the select statement or the aggregate functions in SQL or something like that. You can come to the track and you select your track. You select a particular lesson on the track and assign it as and give it as an assignment to your student. And I think one of the beautiful function or one of the features about this is you can assign to a particular individual, not just as a group. Now, for example, I can decide to assign a particular track course. Take, for example, these AI fundamentals. I can assign it to a student here. Say, okay, there is no member now, but as soon as you have members on board, you have students on board, you can assign specific courses or specific lessons to each student as an individual. So you can assign assignments collectively, and also individually. So that makes a whole lot of sense and very good. So you can assign assignments as a course, a whole full course. You can assign assignment as a track course. You can assign a specific chapter. You can assign projects here. I'm sure most of us are quite familiar with this function here, the project function. I think we use that in for the previous cohort. So this is also available for you as the team lead of your career track. And also you can give assessments here. So what this assessment is actually doing is you're trying to assign probably a theoretical questions, like questions and answers based on a specific topic. For example, I can assign data manipulation with Python assessment for all my students. So what this is going to do is to populate their timeline, their profile now with questions and answers. As you can see, it's theory, data storytelling as a theory. So you can assign these and many more to your students. And also in terms of SP, experience points. So I think this is one of the things we really leverage on for our previous cohorts. So in terms of SP, you can choose a particular SP. So SP is talking about your point, the points that you accumulate as you complete or as your students complete courses or activities on the platform. So for example, now every week we'll try as much as possible to assign a particular SP for each of the students to accomplish. So for the first week, we might say, oh, I want you guys to be able to acquire a total of 30,000 SP this week. And it's so, this feature is so good in terms of the fact that you are able to know what your students are doing. For example, student A has acquired 1,000 SP out of the 30,000. You can know the total number of students that are engaging, that are meeting meeting this SP challenge and all. So you will have a log of all the records and all. So yeah, we will still try as much as possible to go back to review these and make sure that everyone is up to track. Possibly by the end of next week, we would have something to experiment on and all. So lastly, I think as a team lead, you would also be able to view your the leaderboard. I mean, the leaderboard is talking about ranking, how the DataCamp actually ranks your student in terms of experience points. That is, I think, experience point is like the major key metrics DataCamp is actually using to rank the engagement on the platform. So as a team lead, you have access to this leaderboard and see who is actually copying the chat. For now, it's Divine. I don't know. Okay, it's not Divine. This is in the last 30 days. So okay, Michael. So for example, Michael has completed three courses and 14 chapters. So this is like a sample of what is going to be going on under the leaderboard. We are able to track the activities of students. This particular student has taken these and these and these. So which will also help us make informed decisions and
give insight into how we're performing in terms of engagement, activities, assignment completions, SP challenges, track and courses assessment and all. So during the course of this program, we will still review this in depth and work more together. That's I'll round it up. Yeah. So thank you very much, everyone. I hope you get everything I said. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Tomiwa. Thank you for that presentation. For those of us that are currently on the call, do we have any question for Mr. Tomiwa before he leaves? Do we have any question based on his presentation? Anybody?
Yeah, so I don't think I'm added as the as an admin for this teaching assistant on the DataCamp. So it's just Mr. Dixon.
Toma, would you like to address that?
Okay. If I get the question right, you're
Ours
trying to
is a
say that
machine
you
learning
are
teaching
not
assistant as well.
okay. Have you been added to the team? Are you a team member on?
No, I'm not.
Let me
That's why
check.
I'm like addressing it now.
Okay. Just let's check the track. Okay, you are a
That's
team member. This is your name, yeah. You are a member of the machine learning engineering career track. Yeah, you are a member.
Okay.
So how
All right.
this platform works is, sorry, continue please, go ahead.
No, I've seen it. I thought I was a member. Like I'm saying, okay, I've seen it.
Okay, yeah, you are a member. But however, I think DataCamp only allows us to assign just one team lead. We can't have multiple team leads. So that is why you only have a team lead per career track. But you can also work along, you can also work side by side with your team lead on the platform. I can't even see Dixon as a team lead here. Let me try and confirm that. Machine learning. Yeah, does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Just while Tuma is trying to figure that out, just to mention, I know that I have not communicated this clearly to everyone, but please let's note that as you have said, we only have one person who will be the team lead. That is what is acceptable. So for the machine learning track, Dixon is currently the team lead who will be assigning. So is the team lead on DataCamp platform. Please note that. So he's the one who will be you work together with him, Paul and Fawaz. You work together with Dixon. You guys will conclude, okay, what are we assigning this week? So all it does is that it just goes online and then assign what you guys have agreed on. So it's not like he's making the entire decision to, just go ahead and assign. It has to be an agreement. So please note that all of you will come together. Okay, this is what we are doing this week. In fact, there will be a calendar that will be sent out. I'm working on it currently. That will be sent out on how tasks will be assigned. So we just need one person who will go on DataCamp platform to go and, assign it, right? So that is what the team lead, like on DataCamp, means. Okay, so just to clarify that. And for the data science career track, it is Usman. Usman will currently be the team lead. He will be the one who will be going on DataCamp to assign. Please note that it is to go on DataCamp to assign. I'm laying emphasis on that for a reason. Okay, so you agree, everybody agrees, like, okay, this is what we are doing, and then you go on DataCamp to assign, right? Usman, please take note. You will be the one who will be doing that for the data science career track. Reason being that Michael is currently will not be working with us for the next cohort as a data science career track. So Usman, you're going to be handling that for data science. Usman, please, did you get that? All right, great, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And then for the data engineering career track, of course, Ogochukwu will be doing that. We'll be going to DataCamp platform to assign tasks. And then finally for data analysis. For data analysis, we cannot assign data analysis with SQL, data analysis with Python and all of that. We only have one track on DataCamp, like for team members, like data analysis. So because we'll be starting with data analysis with Excel and then to SQL. So for now, we're making Divine the lead, the one who will be going to assign. So because we are starting with Excel and SQL, right? So Divine will be the one after both Giles and Divine reach an agreement. Okay, this is what we're going to be doing, and then the data analyst and teaching assistant, that is Dave, Simeon, Kingsley, they all come together. Okay, this is what we're going to be doing. Then Divine just goes online and assign it to all the students. Okay, so please note that that's what the team lead on DataCamp means. Please, do we understand? Okay, great. So because I just to avoid a misconception, thank you very much everybody for your time. We have another call to jump on real quick. If we have any question or concern, please feel free to drop it on the group chat or send me a DM. My DM is always open to everyone for your concerns. Paul, please, I would reach out to you to give you a breakdown of what you are to expect. So let's just catch up after the call, right? Paul, did you get that? Okay, I'll assume you did. Okay, thank you so much. And Dave, I see you. Dave, thank you so much for joining. Guys, you're also welcome to the call. I'm just saying you. Welcome to the call, everyone. All right, that will be all for this week. I would communicate the task on the group. I'll communicate the task for this week on the group. The task is to design the weekly activities for the breakout session for your career track. So you already have a roadmap. This is what we are doing first. This is what we're doing second. So how do you want to handle the breakout session? What are the topics that you are going to be teaching for each of the breakout sessions that you'll be having? Please bear in mind that students will start onboarding by next week. So bear that in mind so that you can get started as soon as possible. Tomiwa.
Yeah, I just discovered that Dixon and Simeon are yet to accept their DataCamp invitation. Please do that as soon as possible, please.
Oh, okay. I'll communicate that to them. Dixon and Simeon. Dixon was on the call earlier, or maybe network kicked him out. Simeon, I'll reach out to all of them. Thank you so much for notifying me. Just for confirmation, Tomiwa, please, are we going to get the transcription? I mean, the summary of this call. Do you have access to?
Yes. I'll share that as soon as it drops. Do you get that?
Sorry, I did not. Can you please come again?
Okay, yes. You have access to the transcription and also the recording.
Summary.
As soon
Okay.
as it drops.
Okay, so that we can share it in the group. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Have an amazing weekend. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much for the emojis. I thought you guys would just start leaving. Thank you. Have a great weekend.